Hey everybody, welcome to a fitness challenge today. We are doing this all on the ground, so all you need is a mat. We are doing it Tabata style, which means 8 rounds of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. That's it, we're doing 4 of those today. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're gonna do a little stretching to start out. We're gonna do those 4 Tabatas, and then we'll do some stretching to cool down. It's not gonna be a really sweaty workout. I'm just here in my socks, I have my mat. I'm good to go, so I hope you're ready. All you need is a mat and some water. And yourself. And my name's Jen. Okay, so I'm gonna come down to the ground, I'm gonna grab my timer, I'm gonna keep it with me. But we're gonna do a little stretching to warm up the body first. This is not a very vigorous workout today. It's a lot of core based. Pilates has a lot of core activation in it, so that's what we're really gonna work on today. So let's start out in our tabletop. You can be on your fists or on your palms, whatever you choose. And let's just start out with a little side to side. So this front little bit is going to kind of almost look like a little bit of a yoga routine, just to kind of get yourself warmed up. And then let's go from a cat to a cow. This could be a really good workout to do when you really don't feel like getting sweaty, you don't really feel like dragging all of your equipment out. This could be a really good bit of exercise to add on to a weight routine or cardio routine. Let's do 2 more. 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. Put one hand in the middle and reach back and grab that foot. I did some upper body this morning, so doing some of this core is a really good way to just bounce the 2 off each other. I did legs yesterday. My legs are toast. So this would be a really good way to get some core activation at the end of the week. All right, let's switch to the other side. You know, 10 seconds off and 20 seconds of activity does not sound like a lot, but when you do 8 in a row, it really adds up. All right, come down to the ground, come to a sphinx, and turn and face one way. So if you need to take a little bit longer of recovery than 10 seconds, you do it. Switch the other way. If you feel like that activity that we're doing for these 8 rounds is not suiting you in some way, shape, or form, change it. Come down, look all the way down. Come up, bring those hands underneath you, come up all the way. You can go to your fingertips if you want, or you can just stay on your palms, shoulders back and down. Release, push yourself back up to the tabletop, and let's just do a little shoulder opener. So we're gonna bring an arm in front, we're gonna loop it around, we're gonna tap her back, and we're gonna bring it back in front. So what I'm doing is I'm here, around, shoot forward. Opening up that shoulder. And let's switch out other way. All right, let's switch other side. So we're going back up, around and in. Try to keep it flat back. Other way. In and around. And then come back to the center. Take one arm, let's loop it all the way through. Put that ear on the mat, glutes up in the air. Take some deep breaths. So our first exercise is going to be a bird dog. There's a couple different ways we can do this bird dog. All right, push it back up to the other side, arm up and through. We can do this bird dog on our knees, hands and knees, or we can do it in plank. So you decide which one you want to do. Regardless, it'll be the same base activity. It's just, are you going to have your knees on the ground or are you not? Having shoes on, shoes off, barefoot, all that stuff will make a difference based on your stability. Come on up. So I know that I can be in a plank, but I'm gonna try to be in a plank with one leg with my socks. So I'm just gonna do it in tabletop, knowing that way that everyone can do it with me at the very least. If you wanna go to a plank position and do that bird dog in plank, please do so. Don't worry if I'm doing it or not, but it's always available for you. So as a quick little refresher, for a bird dog, your hands are right underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, and you're gonna lift opposite arm, opposite leg to about the same height, come back down and switch. So I will let you know when the timer is going off and going on. If you can't hear it through the through your phone, I would like you to not look at the monitor as much as you can, or whatever you're looking at on, just to keep your head and neck nice and straight, looking straight forward, straight down, or straight in an angle. Try not to turn left and right. All right, so we're doing that for 8 rounds, all the way through. So we're really concentrating on your core. We're really concentrating on lifting the opposite arm and leg to the same height, and it's slow, controlled core work, okay? We are starting in 5 seconds. All right, let's begin. And because you're not looking at the screen, more than likely, you have no idea if you're matching my speed, which is great. Because this is your workout. I'm leading you through. And release. You can either stay here in table, or you can take the pressure off your wrists. Your choice. If you were in plank, I would suggest coming out of plank. Okay, let's get ready. If you break this exercise down, this at the end of those 8 rounds should be tiring for you. And obviously, if you're ending on the left leg, you're starting on the right leg next time. It's just one continuous motion, just with little breaks in between. Get ready, get set. We are going to be doing more core later, but if you want to add more core in, you can bring that elbow and knee to touch in the middle. So you could be here if you want, and then touch down. But we're going to be adding some more core in, so don't feel like this is just it. So, all right, let's go. This is number 4. And if you lose your balance, catch it and come right back in. All right, get ready, let's go. Remember, you can always be on your fists if having pressure on the wrists is too much. Or you could always take something like a small pair of weights and use it almost like a push-up bar. So you just have some way to have your hands up off the ground so you're not on your fists, but aren't on your wrists either. All right, we're getting close. This is number 6. When we do 8 in a row, that is a Tabata. When we do more or less than 8, that is hit. That's like saying, I want a Frosty, or do I want chocolate ice cream? A Frosty can be chocolate ice cream, but chocolate ice cream isn't necessarily a Frosty. And some might say, Jen, chocolate ice cream is not a Frosty, but I say it's pretty dang close to soft serve, so. But I think you get my drift. This isn't obviously hit today either. This is a low intensity, but that's okay. Working on core, and when you're working on core, you definitely don't want to speed up. All right, this is number 8. And then we get a chance to review exercise number 2, and then we'll go right into it. Exercise number 2 are frog leg pull-ins. So we're going to be on our back. All right. So we're going to flip over onto our back. We do have a little bit of a break, so don't worry. All right, so we're here on our backs. Our feet are going to be in like we're a frog, and our ears are going to kick out and come back in. The big thing here is, I'll show it to the front. So we're here and kicking out and kicking in. The big thing is that that back is against the mat at all times. If your legs need to be straight up in the air, so your back is on the mat, that's totally fine. Then you can decide how farther you want to get closer to the ground. I want that pelvis tilted. I want that back totally against the mat the whole time. So that's the component of structure here. You decide, is it straight up? Is it straight out? Is it straight out that way? And you can obviously change it as it goes by, as the numbers of rounds go by. I'm going to have my hands down at my hip level, but they're not going to be underneath my hip unless I really having a hard time keeping myself in line. All right, so I'm in and out, in and out. And I'm breathing. I'm not holding my breath at all. And I'm relaxing. So how did that one go? Okay, now the next round you go a little bit lower. Maybe, maybe not. In and out. Really concentrating on that low back. Like for example, if you had bare skin right now against this mat, would your mat be making farty noises by giving the air and pushing that air out, in and out? That's a good tell sometimes. Just pull your shirt up a little bit so it's about like yay high. So your low back is against the mat, and just listen. That's a good cue if you're not sure. But you really should be able, like, can you stick your fingers underneath your back? No? Good. That's what we want. But if I go lower, if I go right about there, oh, it's popping up. I don't want that, so I'm going to be higher than that point. And relax. So this one might seem to get a little tiring real quick, and if it does, if you need to take a longer break, that's fine. In and out. Do not hold your breath. In fact, this is hurting my quads. All right, we are halfway done with this grouping. 4 down, 4 to go. Take a break. And off to the races. That heel was also touching the whole time, so we're kind of turning our hips out a little bit. And recover. This is number 7, getting close. Remember, just because it's not sweaty doesn't mean it isn't a good workout. And the other way around is just because you're sweaty doesn't mean you're burning any extra calories or fat. You could be running in Florida in August and it doesn't affect the number of calories you're burning. It just affects how much water is being shed from your body. And they have done studies that say running in super cold weather burns more calories, things like that. It's such a small amount. It may be true and relax, but it's not something that I would actively seek out. Okay, so 2 down, 2 to go. The next one is a dead bug. So we're gonna stay in this exact same position, all on our back. And you can decide, do you wanna do single dead bug or double dead bug? And it's basically just the opposite of our bird dog. So we're in our all fours position, and we're dropping the foot and hand, and foot and hand, or we're doing both at the same time. If you're doing both at the same time, remember that those hips, that small of the back is not lifting up. If you want to keep your legs bent and just bend at the hips, totally cool, do it. If you want to come down and kick out and come back in, you can. It's a variation, but it is a possibility. So decide what you want to do. We are starting in 9 seconds. The big thing in here is to make sure those hips, those knees are up nice and high, just like you would be when you're on the ground. So bring those knees up, bring those arms up, and go. So when we're here and we're quote unquote resting in between the left and the right side, if you are doing single side, those knees do not drop, those ankles do not drop until you are ready to go. And then we recover. So just keeping those knees and ankles kind of in that 90 degree is working itself. Oops. So if you're doing doubles and you're making mistakes and not doing it right, just for the sense that you're like, I'm doing the harder variation, just don't. If you're breaking it down, doing it slow, in control, even the littlest version can work. You can do weight training without weights. I mean, it'll be different, but you can still make those muscles burn. And I will tell you, just keeping my legs up with all the quad work that I did yesterday, oh, it hurts. In an acceptable way though. It's not painful as in I'm gritting my teeth. We don't want that. All right. Recover, halfway done. Ooh. How you doing? Number 6. Maybe the abs are getting tired. Maybe you just hold here for that amount of time. That's a challenge too. Arms are, shoulders back and down, arms are up, and knees and ankles are at a 90 degree. That's an option too. All right, we have 2 more rounds of this left. Make them amazing. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. One more left, and then we're going to flip on over and do one more activity on our front. rotations. You can do this on your knees or on your feet. Now what we're gonna do is go from side to side, hanging out for about 2 seconds or so on each side. So let me see if this will stay. All right, so if we are on our knees, we are here and we are just twisting and holding back through center, twisting and holding. If we're on our toes or our feet, we're doing that same thing, and you can stack the feet on top of each other, or you can have the feet kind of a little bit farther apart and wide. Your choice. Decide what you want. We have 8 rounds of that, and then we go back to some stretching, and then we're done. Ready? Get set. 5 seconds. Okay. Rotate. If the rotations are too hard for you, you can just stay in that plank for the entire 20 seconds. And then the next round through, you hold the other side. So that's an option. Both on your knees and on your feet. I'll do the next one on my knees so I can demo that one. Rotate, open, hold. Rotate, open, hold. This can also be a good option if your wrists are sore and bothering you. Just takes extra weight off of those wrists. Okay. This is also a great thing to do with a small weight if you would like. You put the weight in the center underneath your nose, switch, pull that weight up, bring that weight down, drop it off, and then switch out to the other side. We're talking only a few pounds. We're not doing 20 pounders with this. All right, this is number 5. We're halfway through. I think this is a good workout to add on to an arm day because it really does work your shoulders. Both with body weight and without. So the bird dogs, we're using your shoulders obviously. The big this exercise, we're using your shoulders obviously. But when we were doing those dead bugs, we were still moving in the shoulders. Just putting gravity on the other side of us. Last one. And let's knock it out. Three, two, one. All right, if your sides are unequal or uneven, Please make them equal each other. This is the time. And then take a couple seconds, grab your water, and then right here back on the mat for some stretching. Awesome. All right, so let's just bring those legs in front of you, toes up, and just wiggle those legs a little side to side. Grab one knee, hug it in, big squeeze. Drop that chin. And then release, and let's switch other side. Release. Let's turn on our side a little bit. Come on to our forearm and bring that arm up and over. Nice side body stretch. And let's just move around that wrist a little bit here. Make some fists, move it around. And then open up a little farther back, so we're getting a little bit more chest. And the shoulder is still down. It's not pulled. That elbow is up nice and high and out, but that shoulder is as far away from the ear as it can be. And release, and then switch it out other side. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on something like this. Open it up. Move around that wrist. Awesome. All right, let's come to a seated position, cross-legged position. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll on that hip. We're gonna make big circles. Then we're going to switch direction. And then we're going to isolate those hips and come up to our waist. And then if you need to kind of hold yourself up a little bit, that's fine. And let's do some circles just from that waist. And switch direction. Beautiful. Come on to all fours, and we're going to come into a downward dog. Stretch out those calves. And then hold here in downward dog, stretching out that upper back. And then take those feet and walk them towards the hands, bending the knees super generously, hanging here. And then super slowly rolling all the way up to standing. While we're up here, we're just gonna roll those shoulders back and down. And then the other way, shoulders forward and down. Open those arms to the back. One big stretch, one more big stretch. You can lean back a little bit if you'd like. Drop the ear to one side. And the other way. Come back to the center, release those arms, and we're done. Thank you for trying this new Pilates Tabata with me. This obviously isn't going to be a weekly thing. Just wanted to try something a little different. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Have a great weekend.